Hey my friends, today I show you all secrets to achieve that epic aggressive sound like Brooks has in his tracks. If you know Brooks, you know that he is known for his epic aggressive bass lines, super distorted leads,
I was kind of looking for that distorted sound.
and crazy bounce overall. So fasten your seatbelt. First we come to a Brooks signature bass line. At first, we take a look into his bass melodies. His bass lines are very bouncy because he places his notes very creative. I show you what I mean. Instead of making the bass line steady, he creates always jumps from a low note to a high note. So the first note is low like this, and the second note is high like this. With this technique he creates a bouncy bass melody in itself. Let me show you the difference. Crazy difference, am I right? The second thing he does is that he places some notes a little off-grid, so the bass line is even more bouncy and less static. When you place every note on the grid, the bass line feels more steady and robotic. But when you place the notes a bit off-grid, it feels more natural and bouncy. To make that effect even stronger, you can add up the groove a little bit with this knob. The next thing is his signature sound selection. He uses lots of different presets to create one big sound. That technique is called layering.
We just got a lot of simple sounds that work together.
He uses strong basses that sounds very growly like this. And then he stacks it up with different sounding basses to really get an fat sound. Most of the people end here and think they have a perfect bass line, but not our boy Brooks. He completely escalates with his bass line and adding up some insane growl sounds.
Big bass line.
I took 2 growl sounds out of my future house pack which I made with citrus, and I pitched them to my bass line.
Get some sample packs and you can download exact sounds like this.
And with this technique you transform a fat bass line into an ultra fat talking bass line.
So it really starts to let the bass line almost talk.
Your bass line talks like a human now. But guys, Brooks goes even further. He takes some brass stabs and also pitch them correctly to his bass line. And now guys, we are coming to an authentic escalated Brooks style bass line. I also gave the bass a little boost right here and compressed them with the OTT and boosted some more frequencies with the R bass. And the last step is the sidechain. Now I show you a real Brooks style lead. Brooks loves to absolutely escalate with his leads by distorting the crap out of them. Firstly, you have to take a strong saw lead like this. Then you have to add some slide into it for the signature Brooks style. And now take a closer look at this Brooks melody. Same as in the bass line, he creates some crazy jumps from low notes to high notes like here to give his melodies some crazy bounce and energy. He also places the notes a little bit off the grid for that bouncy feeling I explained you before. And now, watch what I have done right here. I took an overdrive distortion and completely distorted that sound like crazy. After that, I took an overdrive distortion and completely escalated the situation and distorting it even more. After that, I added some reverb that is linked to the peak controller so the reverb only kicks when the lead is not playing in between the notes right here. After that I boost some frequencies with the equalizer to make it even stronger and present in the mix. So this is basically our main lead sound. But I took 2 another sounds to support that sound a bit. The second sound is a more detuned and wider sound to make our lead just a little bit more wide. And our third lead sound is a sound that also sounds very different than our main lead sound, but I really thought it fits very good to an Brooks style lead. I processed these 3 leads differently from each other, but I routed them into one channel and compressed them all together to glue them really together like a lovely family. And I cut out some low frequencies for an cleaner mix and boosted some other areas, and I distorted them a last time and I added sidechain. But guys, we are not done yet. Brooks loves to give his lead some crazy pitch automations. Therefore, set this to 12 semitones. After that, you play with this knob. Then you click here, click on last tweaked, create automation clip, and then you automate the beginning every time when a note is playing. This is a very common ear candy trick by Brooks. But the last trick to give his leads the Brooks energy, you have to make a reverse reverb lead effect. So you mark the note you want to render. Click on pattern, then click on this little knob, then click on this, then click on disk recording, render to wave file. Now we have the file here and we placed it into the gaps between the empty note and we automated the volume to make a fade effect. I processed these with some reverb, distortion and compression. When a normal producer thinks he is ready, then Brooks thinks that his lead isn't powerful enough, so he likes to add some support leads like this. Ladies and gentlemen, now I presenting to you our full Brooks style lead. In the original track I noticed a little vocal atmo sound, so I took a vocal sample out of my pack and recreated it with some reverb and gross beat. And in the original track he had some ear candy chords in the end of a drop, so I recreated it also by selecting a synth shot preset out of my pack and it sounded pretty similar. Guys, I've almost revealed all secrets, but I have to show you an Brooks style drum pattern for the last step. Brooks style drum loops hit like crazy, so you need to boost your kick a bit more, and make sure to mix it really tight together, and add some reverse claps like this. And Brooks loves to fill up his drum loops with little fills and more effects like this. This really adds to your overall groove, I promise. By the way, if you are looking for an perfect Future House Brooks style sample pack, I really recommend to you my Future House sample pack called Shadow. It contains 90 Serum presets, 100 SOLIND 1 presets, 40 Vital presets, and 370 high-quality samples like one-shots, FX and loops. Link in the description. We are now basically done, but a very essential part in achieving a sound like Brooks is his mastering. I boosted some lows and I decreased some highs. I really boosted the whole track with the PSP Vintage Warmer, which makes an insane difference. Then I added a little EQ, then I added a compressor to flatten out the wave file and controlling the peaks, then I set up a limiter, and then I set the very low frequencies in mono and done. My lovely people, we are ready with our Brooks track now. Before listening to it together, I have to tell you that you can download these full FLP for absolutely free, because why not? Unfortunately I can't put in the original track in the zip file because of copyright, but you can do it yourself. And now, let's listen to the final result and brace for impact. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you.